Okay, let's kick things off. Today we're really digging into some powerful concepts.
We are. We're using notes and excerpts based on the book Do the Impossible, Mindset for a Dream Life by Jason Drees.
Yeah, and the main thing we're tackling is, well, potential. How to unlock it, break through those mental walls we all hit sometimes.
Exactly. And how mindset and, crucially, action can help you sort of build the reality you actually want. It's about becoming an active creator.
In this deep dive, it's really tailored for you listening. We want to cut through the noise.
Get straight to the core insights from this material.
Our mission is basically to unpack these ideas and see what they genuinely mean for your life, your goals.
So let's start with the absolute foundation here, the big idea that everything else kind of rests on.
It is.
That your mindset, your internal world, it doesn't just influence things. The source argues it actually, well, shapes your reality.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Because it's not just think positive and good things happen. It's deeper than that, right?
Much deeper. The idea presented is that your thoughts, especially your deep-seated beliefs, they function like an architect's plan, a blueprint.
A blueprint! How so?
Well, if your internal blueprint says, this project is impossible, or I can't do this.
Then you unconsciously act in ways to make that true.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You find reasons it won't work, you don't see the opportunities, maybe you give up easily. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, basically. The belief makes it impossible for you.
Wow, okay. But the flip side?
The flip side is the exciting part. When you genuinely shift that belief, even just entertaining the possibility that something could work,
your perception changes.
your whole perception can shift. Suddenly you might notice resources or ideas or connections that were completely invisible before because your blueprint didn't allow for them.
So if you're feeling stuck, maybe telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or this never works out.
The source suggests that's not just a feeling, it's an active filter. It's literally blocking you.
How? By making you avoid challenges.
Yeah, or maybe overlooking chances because you're just not scanning for them. Or quitting when things get tough because deep down, you expected to fail anyway. It proves the limiting belief right.
So the inner belief is like an instruction manual for your behavior.
That's a great way to put it. And if you change the manual, even slightly start building a belief like success is possible for me, or I can figure this out.
Then your actions start to change too. You take more risks, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Calculated risks, you put in more effort, you persist longer. It all starts inside with that belief system.
Okay, so if the foundation is mindset shaping reality, how do we actually, do anything with that? Build something tangible?
Right, and this leads straight into a really practical lesson from the material. You've got to align your actions with your goals, your daily actions.
Sounds obvious, maybe, but it's so easy to miss.
It really is. The source points out how often we say we want X, but our habits, what we actually do all day, are pushing us towards Y.
Like the classic example, wanting to start a business but spending hours lost in social media feeds.
Or just general busy work that feels productive, but doesn't actually move the needle on the main goal.
Yeah.
You're essentially paddling against your own current.
And that creates that feeling of friction, like you're working hard but not getting anywhere.
Exactly that feeling. The material stresses that real momentum, that sense of flow, where success starts to feel almost natural. It comes when your thoughts, your energy, and critically your actions are all lined up, pointing in the same direction.
And Jason Drees himself used this.
Yeah, the source uses his story. When he committed to becoming a top coach, it wasn't just a mental decision. He looked hard at his schedule.
And cut things out.
Ruthlessly. Distractions. Things that weren't serving that specific goal, like maybe too much aimless scrolling or commitments that drained energy.
And replaced them with
Actions that were aligned. Dedicated time for practice, actively networking, learning, self-improvement. His daily routine started to reflect his ambition.
So the question for you, listening, is take an honest look. Where might your daily actions be slightly, or maybe significantly, out of step with what you say you want most? That could be the hidden break.
Okay, building on that, seeing things differently. The source talks about something called frame shifting, calls it a superpower.
I love this concept, frame shifting. It's like deliberately changing your viewpoint on something, right?
Exactly. Changing how you look at a situation, specifically to find solutions or opportunities you missed before.
Like looking at a painting from different angles.
That's the analogy used.
Yep.
See it head on, you get one impression, step to the side, look closer, step back. You see different details, different textures, understand it better.
So how does this apply when you hit like a major roadblock, a problem?
It helps you reframe the obstacle. Instead of seeing a dead end, You look for the hidden opportunity within it.
The source gives an example, doesn't it, about a client?
Yeah, a client whose business failed. Initially, their frame was totally understandable. I'm a failure. It's over.
Yeah.
Very negative, very final.
But they shifted the frame.
They worked to shift it, to see the failure not as a personal verdict, but as, well, expensive market research.
Yeah.
Incredibly valuable feedback on what didn't work.
Ah, okay, so it wasn't failure, it was data.
Precisely. And with that new frame, they didn't quit. They used the data, adjusted their strategy, learned the lessons, and eventually built a successful venture.
So the situation itself didn't change, but their perspective on it did.
And that changed everything that followed their feelings, their actions, the possibilities they could suddenly see. It's about consciously turning those setbacks into fuel for the next step.
And this idea of perspective, it links straight into another really core insight from the material, doesn't it? About beliefs.
Absolutely. Your beliefs can either limit or empower you. This is huge.
Explain that a bit more. Beliefs as limits or empowerment.
The source uses a great analogy. Beliefs are like lenses. If your lenses are smudged with limiting beliefs, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve success, people like me don't do things like that, then everything looks distorted.
Opportunities look smaller, challenges look bigger.
Exactly. The world seems kind of dull, discouraging. But if you clean those lenses, if you cultivate empowering beliefs,
Then things look different, brighter.
the potential seems clearer. Possibilities open up. The material tells a story about a woman who genuinely believed she wasn't leader material
And that held her back.
for years. Because that belief dictated everything. How she spoke up in meetings, what projects she volunteered for or didn't, how she handled feedback. It wasn't just a thought. It was running the show.
So what changed? How does she shift that, according to the source?
It wasn't instant. She had to consciously challenge the belief, start replacing I'm not a good leader with something like, okay, I can learn the skills. I can grow into leadership.
So shifting the belief came first, then the action.
The shift empowered the action. Believing she could grow allowed her to seek training, to practice, to step up, even when it felt uncomfortable. The belief unlocked the necessary actions.
And the Oprah Winfrey example is used here too.
Yeah, as a powerful real-world illustration, given her background, the limiting beliefs could have been overwhelming. Poverty defines me. My past dictates my future.
But she chose different beliefs.
Empowering ones. I am capable. I can create something better. The source emphasizes these weren't just wishful thinking. They were the engine driving her incredible work ethic, her resilience, her ability to see and seize opportunities. Beliefs, direct action. They either cage you or set you free.
Okay, following that logic, it makes total sense then why the material presents obstacles as opportunities in disguise.
Right. It's a fundamental shift in how you view difficulties. Instead of seeing a problem as something external that's blocking you.
You see it as part of the past, something useful.
Exactly. Essential even. They're framed as chances to get stronger, to learn something critical you wouldn't have learned otherwise, to build that resilience muscle.
Jason Dries apparently faced big hurdles in his business.
The source mentions significant setbacks. But the point isn't just that he faced them, it's how he faced them. Not as signs to stop, but as feedback loops.
Like, okay, that strategy didn't work. What can I learn? How do I adjust?
Precisely. Each failure became data to refine his approach, making him and the business more robust over time.
And the J.K. Rowling example fits here too, with all the rejections for Harry Potter.
It's a classic example. Those rejections could easily have been framed as, nobody wants this, I should give up.
But reframed, they become
Opportunities. To maybe hone the manuscript, to strengthen her belief in the story, to build incredible persistence. The source suggests that overcoming those obstacles actually prepared her and the work for the massive success that followed.
So it changes the question from why me to what's the lesson here?
Yes. And that simple shift makes challenges feel less like attacks and more like training exercises for the next level. Flowing from that, another really empowering concept in the material is about consciously creating your reality with intention.
This really hits home. It's about not just drifting, right? Taking the wheel.
Taking the wheel is a perfect way to put it. The source uses the analogy of life as a blank canvas, and you hold the brush. You choose the scene, the colors, the strokes.
Instead of just letting things happen to you,
Yeah.
living on autopilot.
Yeah, which is how many people operate, just reacting day to day. Intention, in this context, means knowing what you want to create, even if it's just the feeling you want or the next small step, and then deliberately taking actions that align with that.
So it's about being deliberate, focused.
Very much so. moving from just passively hoping things will work out to actively, intentionally building towards a desired outcome.
And the benefit, according to the source.
You stop wasting precious time and energy on things that don't align with your masterpiece. Every day becomes a conscious choice, an opportunity to lay down another brushstroke towards the life you envision. And maybe the most practical or perhaps encouraging lesson, especially when things feel big and overwhelming, is that small alignments create big results.
Ah, the power of consistency, not needing a giant leap right away.
Exactly. It counters that feeling of needing to change everything overnight, which can be paralyzing. The source emphasizes that huge transformations rarely happen because of one massive action.
They happen how then?
They're almost always the result of lots and lots of small, consistent actions. Tiny adjustments, minor course corrections, done day after day, all pointing generally in the right direction.
Like the tree analogy. You don't just stare at a seed and expect a tree.
Right. You water it a little bit consistently. That small, regular input is what leads to the big, strong tree over time.
The health example's good here, too.
So relatable. You don't have to go from couch to marathon tomorrow. Just drink one extra glass of water today, take a 10-minute walk, add one piece of fruit.
Seems insignificant on its own.
Totally. But do that consistently. Those tiny shifts build momentum. They create ripples. Over weeks and months, they can lead to massive changes in health and well-being.
And the source says this applies everywhere. Relationships, skills, career.
Universally. It's the principle of compounding. Small, positive, consistent actions relentlessly applied over time can fundamentally change the entire trajectory of your life.
Okay, so we have these powerful ideas. Mindset, aligned action, frame shifting, beliefs, obstacles as opportunities, intentions, small steps. How does the source suggest we actually, do this stuff, put it into practice day to day?
It offers some really concrete starting points.
Mm-hmm.
For shaping mindset, it's just starting your day intentionally, maybe with simple affirmations.
Like what?
Instead of letting anxieties take over first thing, consciously state empowering beliefs. I am capable, I handle challenges well, today holds opportunities. Just setting a positive tone.
Okay, and for aligning actions?
Write down a key goal. Then identify one tiny, doable action today that moves you towards it. Goal, save money. Action, pack your lunch.
Right.
Goal, learn a skill. Action, watch one 10-minute tutorial. Small, concrete, aligned.
What about when problems hit? That frame shifting?
Pause. Don't just react. Ask, what can I learn from this? Or is there another way to look at this? Maybe you missed a deadline. Instead of beating yourself up, frame it as feedback. Okay, my time estimation was off. What can I adjust next time?
And tackling those limiting beliefs we talked about.
First step is awareness. Catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, or this is too hard. Then consciously replace it. Write down the empowering opposite. I'm learning. I can figure this out step by step. Saying it or writing it helps rewire things. For obstacles, actively reframe them as training. Fail an exam. It's not proof you're dumb. It's data showing where your study methods need improvement. It's practice for getting better.
Creating with intention. That sounds big. How small can that start?
Visualize what you want, yes, but then crucially pair it immediately with one small action. See yourself finishing the project. Great. Now open the document and write one sentence. See yourself healthier. Go fill your water bottle. Link the vision to immediate tangible action. And finally, those small, consistent changes. The advice is simple. Pick one thing, just one habit you want to improve slightly. Read for 5 minutes. Meditate for 2 minutes. Walk around the block. Start ridiculously small. Focus on consistency and let it build naturally.
Okay, so wrapping this all up from the source material, it really boils down to a few key things, doesn't it?
It seems so. Your mindset is the foundation. Your actions need to be deliberately aligned with what you want.
You need to learn how to reframe challenges, see them as helpful, not harmful.
And understand that your beliefs are actively shaping your experience, so choose them wisely.
And finally, embrace the power of small, consistent steps. That's where the real transformation happens over time. It's a powerful package. It really puts the control back in your hands. You're not just subject to circumstances. You're actively involved in creating your life.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on, directly inspired by these ideas. If your reality is being shaped moment by your mindset and your actions, what's just one small belief you could challenge today? Or one tiny, intentional action you could take right now that would begin to nudge your reality closer to the future you truly desire? What opportunities might suddenly flicker into view once you make that shift?